Okay, this is a quick video about constructing the unit circle. I've already got my chart of values for standard angles in degrees and in radians, as well as the trig functions of each of those angles. Okay, so on the unit circle, since our R is equal to 1, our traditional trig definitions, y over r and x over r becomes y over 1 and x over 1. So if I replace this with 1, there's no need to even write it. So on the unit circle, our radius is 1. We're dividing each of these coordinates by 1. There's no need to even write that. Y divided by 1 is y. X divided by 1 is x. So what we have here is the x and y coordinates for each of our angles. Oops. So I'll draw my circle. This is my unit circle. So we'll pretend that's a circle. So radius is 1. And I'll draw these in 30, 45, 60, and 90 degrees. Let's say at each of these points. Well, the ordered pair right here on the edge of the circle is given by the x value from cosine, the y value from sine. So at 0 degrees, our x value is 1, our y value is 0. That's the point, or it's the ordered pair 1, 0. At 30 degrees, our x coordinate is square root of 3 over 2. Our y coordinate is 1/2. And so on and so forth. We can fill this in pretty quickly. At 45 degrees, they're both square root of 2 over 2. At 60 degrees, our x coordinate is 1/2. Our y coordinate is square root of 3 over 2. And then finally, the last one, at 90 degrees, our x coordinate is 0. The y coordinate is 1. Once we've got those completed, and I used my table values because I know how to construct that very easily. There are all kinds of mnemonics out there. If you Google how to construct the unit circle, you'll find 1,000 videos at least of how to do this. Lots of different techniques. But once you have these points, you can find all the other angles. So like this one, if I go another 30 degrees, that would be, that would be 90 plus 30 is 120. So that's now 120 degrees. My coordinates are the same as these coordinates, the next one on my list, but the signs may change. That's the only thing that can change as we go around the circle. Right, and draw in our different angles. Increasing by 30, 45, or 60 degrees. Okay. So it's going to be the same points we had up here, except the signs are going to change. So right here, from this point to this point, I guess they're not drawn perfectly. I'll draw this over a little. Maybe help you see why this is the case. Our y values are exactly the same there. The only thing that's going to change is my x value. Instead of being positive 1/2, on the left side of my axis over here, my x values are negative. It's going to be a negative 1/2. My y value, though, is exactly the same. And so on for all of these points. My y values are exactly the same. The only thing that's changing is the sign of my x value. My y value is the same. My x value here is now negative square root of 2 over 2. All right, my y value is the same. This is 1/2. my x value is the same, except now it's a negative square root of 3 over 2. And finally, 1, 0, we say I have the same ordered pair, 1, 0, but the x coordinate is negative, so it's a negative 1, 0. We can do the same thing for every point on, or every spoke on our wheel here. We're just taking our ordered pairs, our previous ordered pairs, and changing some of the signs. So as we go from here to here, what's going to change? Well, my x's are still negative, but now my y's are going to be a negative as well. Okay, so now I've got negative square root of 3 over 2. I'm taking this point, and then negative 1/2. So now my y value is negative as well, because everything below this axis, all of those y values are negative. We just continue around the circle. Just take this point, negative square root of 2, positive square root of 2. That sign now changes. Okay, negative 1/2, positive square root of 3 over 2. That y value, that square root of 3 over 2, that positive square root of 3 over 2 becomes negative. Negative 1/2 stays negative 1/2.